lot of people don't know the Tule elk is or was almost extinct. In fact, back in the 1870s, it was thought to have been extinct, and there was a single breeding pair. You would have to think that there was more than that around, but they do know of a single breeding pair that was protected. I believe it was mid-1870s, and I don't think you could hunt them until maybe the late 80s or into the 90s, 1990s. And now there's over 4,000 animals in the state of California, whereas at one time there was over 500,000. It was a fast and furious hunt. We actually landed in California Thursday night and got to this small house in a vineyard that we're staying at, which is kind of cool, kind of rare for an elk hunt, but went hunting the coast of California. You might as well stay somewhere nice because the elk are close by. In fact, we hunted within 20 minutes of where we're staying. But the first morning opened up really misty, and you can see from the footage where when we topped out on one of the hills, it was just a blanket or a sea of mist and clouds down below us and fog, and we knew under that blanket of cloud cover or fog, whatever you want to call it, there had to be a big bull down there. We just had to wait for the clouds to clear and be able to put some glass on some of these big bulls that are known to be up in these oak-covered hillsides. I think the first morning early on we saw a handful of elk and changed to another ranch that was close by, smaller than the one that we were on, and the fog had lifted, and right up on the hillside I think we saw 19 bulls on one hillside, nothing that we wanted to go after. And while we were watching them, a nice bull had come around the mountain, and I did something I don't do often, but it's a testament to the excitement that I still get in hunting these days, and lost my composure a little bit and sent a shot high over a nice bull, and was pretty dejected, but good fortune was in our future. My eyes, I'm 53 years old now, my eyes over the years, just like happens with age, were getting worse and worse and worse, and it got to the point where I actually had cataracts in my eyes, and you don't realize how fast your eyesight deteriorates. But long story short, in April of this year I got my cataracts removed, and I had what they call multifocal lenses put in my eyes. So I didn't know how good they were going to be until I actually got out in the mountains and started seeing elk out on the hillsides, and our outfitter actually stopped, or guide stopped to take a call or deal with some work issues, and I happened to look up on the hill and I saw standing behind a bush, picked out the backside of an elk, and told the guide, I said, hey, we were getting ready to take off, I said, hey, there's a bull up there, and he looked, and immediately he got excited. He's like, we got to shoot that bull. And that's when the race started. We backtracked, and he knew where to go to get up in position, and things happened pretty quick. Right after I first spotted that bull, and where we were located, from what I remember anyway, the winds weren't too bad, but we had to circle around back to the south and head up to the east, and then come in again from the south, keep the hillside between us. And man, the wind was ripping. You can see in the footage, the wind was really ripping up there. We got in there on him, and to his credit, he took us right to the spot. I mean, we topped over this little rise, and there was the bull feeding 174 yards away, and it was, things, like I said, got fast and furious, and I made a good shot on him, and the rest is kind of history. But thankfully I was able to see what was going on in this hunt. So as I was looking at this bull and realizing it's not even August 1st yet, and how not only is all the velvet, basically all the velvet off the horns, but you could see he'd been rubbing on things. His antlers were already dark, and it's just so surreal and strange to actually be in July and have a hard-horned elk down in front of you. And what a beautiful animal, beautiful specimen, just incredible.